Good morning. Well, if any of you have heard Rosemary speak about her work, you know that she's dedicated her life to the children of South Sudan. Well, Laura and I recently decided to go to Africa basically to support Rosemary and to learn about what was happening in Adjumani. So just a few weeks ago, the last thing that I ever expected to be doing was taking selfie videos in Africa. So God clearly has a sense of humor. So, but thanks to Barry and his excellent editing capabilities, we have a video for you. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
I'm Mark, and this is my wife Laura.
Hello.
And we're here with Rosemary.
Yes.
We are on a journey to find out all of the good things that are happening in Adjumani. I hope that you enjoy our journey. Just to give you an idea of where all this is, it's basically in the middle of Africa. This is a map of Uganda. You can see Lake Victoria, and it turns out that we're currently right near Entebbe, south of Kampala, in a place called Kasanji. And we're going to be headed up to northern Uganda and Adjumani, which is just south of Sudan, and you can see where there's a Nile River that runs through it that people had to cross in order to get to Adjumani. And we'll be headed there in a small plane soon. Here we are, we're in Adjumani.
Yay!
Yay! So I think it was 8 years ago that Peace International was started by Rosemary in South Sudan, where she set up a school for a couple of years, and then the war broke out. And after the war broke out, a whole bunch of people, millions I think, left South Sudan southward. They did what they could, and they got to Adjumani. And when Rosemary heard about it, because she was in Kenya at the time, decided to come to Adjumani on her own. She took the 9-hour bus that we just flew, the same distance. And when she got here, she followed a lead, and that led to the next thing. And a church in Tennessee helped her out to buy some land. And from there, she started a new school in Adjumani, and we're going to go see it.
Wow. Thank you.
You have very good food. People look for you everywhere. Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, and all foreigners. Just for quality education. All our good schools. Fees. You have very good donors who give us books, pencils, colors, and food. Wow, what a good school. May God bless you. Amen. God bless you, Rosemary. Oh, God bless you. God bless you, Rosemary. Oh, God bless you. I've never seen a school shine like this. I've never seen a school shine like this. Oh, teachers, continue working hard in the sun. Oh, teachers. Hallelujah.
Rosemary, I see you have 4 buildings. So you came here 6 years ago.
Yes,
There was nothing.
there was nothing.
How many kids did you hope to help 6 years ago?
Maybe 50 to 60 kids.
50 to 60 kids.
Yeah.
So how many kids now?
500 plus.
Is that a blessing?
In a way, it is a blessing because they need education and they are hungry for it.
Yes.
I'm glad that they are getting it. Difficult because of the needs that will make the school actually run and run right with quality education, quality teachers, quality infrastructure.
Yes. Wow. And you have plans for more?
Yeah, we have plans for more. We hope to build another block here or a similar one like the one of those two on that side. And if we do that, we will be done with the school construction.
So at what grades do you want to teach up to?
Up to 7.
Up to
Grade
7.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for about how many kids? All?
Depending on how they stay on, because somehow there are kids who are moving to other settlements with their parents when they find out where their relatives are. So as we go higher, the numbers might reduce, they might remain the same. If they remain the same, it will be a huge population. We are
Yes.
looking at something like 1,000 kids. This serves as a kitchen, and it tells you we don't have a kitchen to make the food for the kids.
So how many meals do you make a day?
2, we do breakfast at about between 9 and 10. Then we do lunch from 12 to 1:30.
So you see here the parents of the children have brought lumber that can be chopped up and used as firewood to make the meals. So Rosemary, you were just commenting on the fence.
Yes.
Is it okay?
It has been okay until we realize people are pulling it apart because it's not strong enough. They pull it apart and enter the school compound. Like behind me here, that was the play equipment that we spent a lot of money on. But with time they have come and played on it. Some of them have pulled the steel out of it and gone with it. So it's a real big loss to the school. And we don't know what next. If we leave it like this without replacing with a strong one, they might even break into the school and steal what is there.
So it was probably a surprise, not in the budget for this year.
No, it wasn't.
As you add all these buildings and all these kids, you have other infrastructure needs. Well, what's the building there?
Those are bathrooms. We call them toilets. Because we give the children food in the school, they'll need to use the bathrooms. And the more they increase, the more there is need for us to construct more.
This is the tree that used to serve as the school, the church, and the community meeting area. As you can see, there's a lot going on at Peace School in Adjumani, Uganda. Rosemary is meeting a very specific need, and her dedicated staff includes 2 Dinka men, and the Dinka tribe is where most of the students in the school come from. They work on a shoestring budget. They're able to feed and educate these students for about $1 a day, less than $1 a day. The school doesn't have any electricity, it doesn't have any plumbing. They recently got the freshwater well with some help. I have a story that will convey the frugal mindset that Rosemary has developed at Peace. One need that the staff brought up when we had the meeting was the need for shade trees around the school. And with the temperature topping out at 100 degrees, that's a really good request from them. But there isn't money to plant enough shade trees that they would make any help. So when we were waiting for our airplane at the Adjumani airstrip, Rosemary saw a row of shade trees and started picking up the seeds underneath the tree. all of the trees. And Mark and I and another guy that was there joined in, and in about 20 minutes when the plane arrived to take us out of Adjumani, we had gotten about 260 seats. And the plan is that Rosemary and her team will teach the parents and the children how to plant trees and how to nurture them. And that way it's a win-win. The students and the school will have trees, the parents and families will have agricultural experience, and Peace saves the money they would have had to spend on seedlings. So Rosemary always works with her end goal in mind, and her goal is to give education and evangelism to the youngsters that are refugees from South Sudan, so that when they grow up, they will become the next generation of South Sudanese leaders. She also envisions that this school will ultimately run and be supported by the community, so she's actually working herself out of a job, though this will be many, many years in the future.
So we have many more stories that we'd love to share with you, and feel free to ask. But in summary of what we learned is that Peace International School is thriving, but they're experiencing significant growth pains, which they'll likely be experiencing growth pains for the next 4 years as they fill out the school with kids. So Cornerstone, please continue your prayers and your financial support for Rosemary, for the school staff. It's an excellent staff, the school children, and even the Adjumani community as they sustain a growing ray of hope in Uganda. Thank you.